Hello, good morning. I'll explain to you the history of Anglicanism. This reform is part of many others that happened all over Europe by the late Middle Ages, started by the principles of Lutero. These reforms were due to dissatisfaction of the population and the heads of state with the Catholic Church, since clerics selling sacred objects or even references for cash, in addition to interfering in royal command. In Germany, Luther was the one who initiated the process, promoting the need for reform. He said, "The salvation of man occurred for acts committed in life and faith." In France, the movement followed up with John Calvin. In his view, the soul's salvation occurred at job fair and honest. Just after the movement went to the United Kingdom, the Tudor monarchy sought ways to impose authority on the influence of the Church, especially the fact that the Church have on hand a large expanse of land under its control. The history began when Anna Bolena demanded that the King Henrique, who was already married to Queen Caterina, to marry her.
"You need to marry me, Henrik. Caterina isn't going to give you any heir."
King Henrique, influenced by Anna, decides to separate from the Queen.
"Caterina, I can't stay with you. I love Anna. By the way, the pressure about the heir is too much for me to handle. Please try to understand."
King Henrique communicates the Pope, who denies his request, making Henrique become even more determined to split with the Queen. King Henrique, even without the acceptance from the Pope, marries Anna Bolena. As separations were illegal, the Pope is forced to expel King Henry from the Catholic Church.
"Please, don't do this. I was practically forced by Anna. I needed a son, an heir, but Caterina couldn't give me."
Henrique, you are forcing me to do this. You've always been a great collaborator to the Church, but due to your latest actions, I have no choice. You are expelled.
6 months later, King Henrique goes to court to officially declare his separation from Queen Catherine of Aragon. He forced the British Parliament to vote a number of laws that put the Church under state control. In the year 1534, the so-called Act of Supremacy created the Anglican Church.
Now, I officially declare that I have power to appoint ecclesiastical offices and sell the lands of the Church, being considered the
main religious chief. That's the history of Anglicanism. In the government of Elizabeth I, new measures have been taken to reaffirm the power of the Anglican Church, making it submit to Catholicism and Protestantism. This measure was intended to minimize the possibility of a religious conflict to destabilize the British society. In his government signed the Second Act of Supremacy, which reaffirmed the religious autonomy of England against the Catholic Church, concerned about the progress of Protestantism and the loss of the faithful. Bishops and popes come together at the Council of Trent defines the pilgrimage, censorship to ideas, contrary to church and jail for heresy. That was the Catholic Counter-Reformation. I hope you all enjoyed.